Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really close look at a coaching tenure that, well, it kind of challenges how we even define success in sports. We're diving into the assessment of Gautam Gambhir's time as Test cricket coach for India. Now, if you just, glance at the raw numbers, they seem, well, pretty tough, honestly. India's Test record under Gambhir is 3 wins, 1 draw, and yeah, 7 losses. That puts the win percentage at just 27% and a loss rate of 64%. So for you listening, you look at that scoreboard. What's your immediate thought? What does that even mean?
Well, what immediately grabbed me from this assessment, and it says it right there, is while those numbers look underwhelming, context truly matters.
Mm.
And that's exactly what we're going to do in this deep dive. We need to peel back the layers, go beyond just those stats, to really get at the crucial nuances of a coach's impact. So our mission today is basically to pull out the most important bits about opponent quality, team dynamics, Gambhir's tactics, all that stuff, helping you become, well, really well informed on this specific coaching period.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this context matters idea then, because looking at those numbers, yeah, it's not just about wins and losses, is it? So let's start with opposition strength. That 64% loss rate, I mean, for a fan, that sounds pretty damning. What does the assessment actually say about why the quality of the opponent is so critical here?
Yeah, that's key. What's critical is understanding that, look, not all losses are created equal. The assessment points out that dropping a game to a top team like Australia or England or South Africa, especially away, well, that isn't necessarily a huge black mark. It's often, expected. It's a tough challenge, historically speaking, against quality sides. But flip side, a win against a, let's say, lower-ranked team doesn't automatically scream coaching genius. The real positive for Gambhir, the assessment suggests, would be like a big win against a top team, especially away from home. That's the real benchmark, you see.
Okay, so tough opponents, that provides some context. What about the team itself then? The source asks, and this is interesting, is this a transition phase? Now, for a fan seeing loss after loss, that might just sound like an excuse, right? So why is this context, the transition idea, so important for maybe, I don't know, forgiving some of those early losses?
That's a really important point. The assessment frames it like this. Losses are seen as, quote, more forgivable if India is integrating new talent after the exit of senior players. So, if this really is a time where they're rebuilding, bringing younger guys, trying to find a new core, then yeah, the thinking is a coach like Gambier probably deserves a bit more patience. It's like building something new. It's messy at the start, right? Before you see the final structure. But while that transition phase gives us some important context, maybe some understanding, the assessment doesn't just give a free pass either. It definitely flags areas where the coach's influence might be, well, less forgivable. Like it specifically mentions Gambier's intense style, noting it may clash with team culture if not managed carefully. That's a direct quote. And importantly, it says, collapses in specific departments, batting failures, bowling struggles, those point directly to coaching strategy or preparation issues. So, the buck kind of stops there with the coach.
Right. Okay. So the raw numbers aren't the whole picture. We've got the context of tough opponents, maybe a team in transition. But what about Gambhir's actual fingerprint on the field? Did his decisions really make a difference? Let's get into the tactical side of things the assessment brings up. What does it see as, the positive signs, maybe the negative signs of his coaching tactically?
Okay, tactically. On the plus side, the assessment highlights things like comeback wins. When a team digs deep from a bad spot, that's seen as good coaching. Also, bold declarations. Now, that's not just being brave. It suggests a coach really understands the game's rhythm, knows when to push for the win, tactically sharp, and obviously seeing standout young performers develop under him. That's a clear, direct, positive influence. But then on the flip side, things like frequent batting order changes. That can suggest maybe a lack of a settled plan or defensive play, which might show a fear of losing instead of, that drive to win, and repeated failure in fourth innings. That often points straight to preparation issues or strategic gaps when the pressure's really on. And actually, one really critical point raised was that Gambhir's tactical brilliance, quote, needs more evidence. The analysis even specifically suggested his white ball style may not suit tests, which is quite a specific dig, right? Implying maybe his approach isn't quite right for the long game.
And, a coach's impact isn't only about X's and O's on the field, is it? The source also mentions his man management. It suggests it can inspire or alienate, depending on player dynamics. How does that fit into the sort of bigger picture of evaluating a coach?
Oh, absolutely crucial. Because look, man management directly shapes the whole team vibe, the culture. Think about it, a player's confidence can totally skyrocket or just plummet based on how the coach deals with them, especially when things are tough. after a bad performance. So that relational stuff, it really impacts team spirit, how resilient guys are, and, yeah, ultimately, how they perform together. It reminds me of that saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. In coaching, that's sort of relational capital, often just as vital as the tactical smarts on paper. So, okay, bringing all these threads together, looking at the final assessment part, the table and the source, it's pretty clear the win-loss ratio itself is seen as poor, but crucially, not damning without context. And it says again that losses to strong teams away may soften criticism. Makes sense? And this is key. Young talent's growth is highlighted. That's seen as a key sign of a coach's influence, something to really watch with the new guys coming through. It's about the long term.
Okay, so for you listening, putting all these pieces together, the tough games, the potential transition, the tactical bits, the man management, what's the final verdict the assessment gives on Gambhir's tenure up to this point?
Exactly. It kind of reminds us, coaching isn't just about the immediate results, right? If we connect it all, the assessment's conclusion is pretty clear. It's just too early to judge definitively.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.